Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In the past 2 weeks, I've been reading articles stating that Russia would like to go back to how it was a Soviet Union, USSR. And one article that I read that tried to push this idea, stupid idea, in my assessment, was when the Ukrainians allegedly, or they found, but I don't know whose those were, they found some USSR passports left behind, allegedly, reportedly, by the Russian army when they ran away from Kiev after they tried to storm Kiev, but they were pushed back by the Ukrainians, you know what I mean? And then they were so hastily running away that they forgot boxes with passports they were ready to hand over to the Kiev residents with USSR on top of it and so on. Not Russia, no, it's USSR, the old ones, the 1991 ones. So, and they said, well, Putin wants to do that, including the fact that just because Putin one time stated that the collapse of Soviet Union was a tragedy, they um, deducted that okay, that's because he just wants to make it back, to build it back. But he was asked that thing many times, and that was taken out of context, like many other statements of people that they want to make appear as something that sometimes they're not. And he was asked in many interviews to clarify that, and he said exactly the same thing. Yes, it was. Yes, it was a tragedy. Imagine how the infrastructure, how the economies were broken, how families who lived in different states, different Soviet social republics, when they break away, the connections, the economy, it was a crisis, economic crisis. They didn't have money, they didn't have food. It was bad. It was bad times. So that's what he was referring to. Yeah, and yes, it was a tragedy. How many millions? How many tens of tens of millions? I can't remember how big the Soviet Union was, the population. I can't remember then. I think it was. I don't want to give any numbers. I know Russia is about 150 right now, 100 million, 145 or something. But I'm just saying it's just a tragedy, yes. And then they say, oh, see, he wants to do that. So they want to use that out of context and thing, plus this passports that I I am 99% sure that that was not the Russians having it. Why would you have? That's so stupid that it's unbelievable. But nevertheless, they try to portray that Putin has expansionist tendencies and he wants to rebuild the Soviet Union and so on, including the economy, which was stupid again because that was a not working economy. A Soviet economy, a communist economy is not working. You have examples since Karl Marx. Look in history and tell me what economies worked in that way. And then yeah, I know some arguments could be, oh, it was not implemented right. Okay, really? For how many years? For 100 years now, right? After the Soviet Union started, for 100, they all tried and none of them got it right. And you're going to tell me Cuba? All right, well, let's go to Cuba. And how we go to Cuba? We go to Cuba to a five-star hotel over there, go to the beaches, and we use $1 and we buy 3 houses. I'm exaggerating, obviously. Is that what it is? And why is that? Nevertheless, we have here an article from Reuters from June 16th, 2022, which says Putin advisor, no back in the USSR for Russia economy. Of course, because it's, look at China. Why do you think China has a mixture? And I think that could be, in my assessment, either, why do you think they, I'm not going to go on that one here. Anyway, it's, why do you think China switched and allowed private property and capitalist system in the under the communist rule? Because they realize that it's unsustainable, a communist system unsustainable for many reasons. I'm going to discuss that in a different video. So the Russians might do like everybody else does, the same thing here. The United States is not a capitalist country. It's a mixture. It's just a proportionality between how much socialism they have and how much capitalism they have. because you say, okay, for the proper running of a government, you have to have, government employees. But now you have certain things that are well beyond that. Like, for instance, services for certain situations. Do you have the state offering that? The state doing that? Instead of having, for instance, the capitalist. If it's a need, a societal need, if you have is a demand, you are going to have a supply. Sometimes this supply is manufactured to a demand that maybe is not there, or not to that extent. The same with education. There is demand, yeah. This much? I don't think so. Not everybody wants to go to school to the 12th grade, let's say. Maybe they want to go to the 4th grade and that's it. But no, they said 12th grade. And nobody maybe wants to learn about gender studies. But they make you. They have it over there. And don't get me into the curriculum and how you have electives and universities here. You have to have certain courses that you don't wanna, but you have to. Why? Because you have to support the university and those useless professors, some of them, that has nothing to do over there. But you have to take the electives, pay more money, and support those guys. So it's a service that is not needed, but is pushed on you. The same with university and school. Is there, for instance, in the United States, is the Constitution saying anything about the school being public or owned by the government or something? No, but it is. It is, and how big it is. And then you have the unions. All right, so story. Governor Elvira Nabulina was speaking at Russia's flagship annual economic conference in St. Petersburg. She said a substantial part of Russian industry should start working for the domestic market rather than rely on exports for revenue. So, a substantial part, what is that? 80%, 20% out of what? We gotta figure that out. Of industry, what kind of industry should start working for domestic market? Works for the domestic market. Supplying the domestic market, nothing wrong with that. Like, for instance, Ford company builds Ford automobiles for the United States, working for this. And I'm quoting, it's clear to everyone that things won't be how they used to be. We keep repeating that pretty banal phrase. There's no returning to the old days. The world has changed, end quote. She said, adding that external conditions have changed for a long time and maybe forever, end quote. Maxim Oleksin, an economic advisor to Russia President Vladimir Putin, remained optimistic about the economy. He said he was confident that it would contract by no more than 5% in 2022 and ruled out the return to Soviet economic model. I don't even know why they talk about it. I don't know why they have to answer that. But maybe there is talk about it. I don't know. It's just, I think it's a faulty system, but that's my assessment. Maybe some people have different preferences. Oleskin's optimism contrasted with official forecasts. The economy ministry said this week it expected gross domestic product (GDP) to contract by 7.8% in 2022. Previously, it had said the economy was on track to contract by more than 12% in what would be the biggest GDP drop since the aftermath of the fall of the Soviet Union. So if you look at the GDP after the fall of the Soviet Union from 1991 to 1999, so that was the Yeltsin, let's say 1993, 1991, whatever, Yeltsin's years, the GDP decreased. The standard of living of the Russian population went down and down and down. And after that, look at after 2000 going up. Everything went up. I made a video regarding the economy, a comparison between the past and the past, Yeltsin era and Putin era. It's going like this: Yeltsin, boom; Putin, boom. It's not me. Look, and now just in the past two years, I think it's been like that. So, nevertheless, there's not going to be any communist system, or if it's going to be, I think they're going to fail. Sorry. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.